This is Cool Japan, and in this video we're going to take a look at the amazing Yamaguchi powered by Revoltech bleeding edge armor Iron Man. And that's a lot to say, but this is an awesome looking figure, and I'm super happy that I got it. Anyway, let's check out the accessories. Alright, so first up, let's take a look at the hands. He comes with 4 sets of hands, and so yeah, first up he has these open, like blast type hands, and it's cool because it comes with a peg in there, so you can attach it with one of the blasts that he comes with. You just pop it in right there, and it looks like he's shooting cool little blast from his hand. Pretty nice. So he comes with 2 of those. They're pretty nicely detailed, nicely painted. Looks cool. Mine seems to have a little defect right there. Alright, next up he comes with 2 regular fists. These are just plain old fists, but of course they look awesome. Next up he comes with 2 more fists, but these fists are a little bit special because they have the peg hole right there, which you can put in blast effect, or you can put in some of the other accessories that he comes with, and he comes with so many accessories, maybe even too many accessories because he just comes with so much stuff. Next up he has these open palmed straight fingered hands. They also have the peg right there. These are for his flying, or if you want him to dab, he can dab. But it's mostly for flying effects. So it looks like he's using his hand blasters for flying, which is pretty cool. The way you plug this in is a little bit different from his other hands because the peg hole goes straight into his thumb. The other ones just go right through the middle. Or actually this hand goes through the palm as well, so it's in an angle. Next up he comes with 2 sets of these wrist guards. They look really nice. The paint, it looks pretty good with the blue and the black outline and the red. These go on his wrist. He comes with the regular ones and the ones with the beam coming out. So I'll show you how to put those on. You just get your Iron Man figure and a hand. You stick it in here. This holds the peg. Goes in like that. No, not like that. It goes in like that. And then you just stick that on his wrist. It should just pop in fairly easily. And there you go. You have his awesome looking wrist blade. Looks pretty cool. Next up he comes with a whole bunch of tech pieces. These are his 2 wings, so you can have him flying around. He comes with 8 of these things, and 4 bigger ones. I don't know what you call these, but they're pretty nicely detailed. This side is all red, and the inside, you can see the mechanical parts, and it's got a peg hole right there, so that's also used for these blasts. So you can peg them in like that, or you can peg them in an angle like that to help him make it look like he's flying, or I don't know, whatever. And he has these bigger ones which look really nice. On the other side you can see the mechanical parts. It has a peg hole for the blast. It also has 2 peg holes so you can connect these. So you can put some of these in here. Let me just see if I can get 2 of them in. And these don't really have a specific purpose, so you can pretty much go wild and do whatever you want with them. That looks really awesome, by the way. You can open them up to make like some kind of flying parts, or make it look like, I don't know, man. You can just let your imagination go wild and create like a bunch of awesome Iron Man parts. He also comes with this. You can put a peg in the middle right there and connect it to his hand. And I've seen pictures of that. It makes it look like he has this huge fist, and then you can put some of these on it. Make it look like he has this awesome Iron Man fist. So you just have a ton of options. Just let your creativity go wild. You can make Iron Man do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna attempt some things and put it at the end of this video, make some cool pictures. And anyway, let's take a look at the rest of the accessories. Next up, he comes with 6 missile effects. These are really nice. You see that missile right there and the blast behind it, and also like this trailing part, and it connects to this little peg. You get 6 of them. You get 3 looking to the left and 3 looking to the right. What I see with this is they connect it to this. They put a lot of people put like 2 or 3 of them or 4 of them, and they connect this to his back, so it looks like he's shooting these rockets from his back. Or you can just have it, I don't know, you can connect it to one of these and make it look like he's shooting rockets from this thing. You can make it coming out of his back, or from his hand, or from his arm, or from his leg. You just have a ton of options. And they all look really nice. Alright. And last up with his accessories, he comes with the stand and this Revo joint separating tool. So yeah, he comes with a ton of stuff, and let's look at the figure now. So here we have Iron Man in a pretty nice neutral pose. He looks really, really great. First up, let's just take a look at the details and the paintwork. A lot of people have problems with his face, in that, you know, it just looks kind of weird, and a lot of people don't really like it, but I think it's okay. I do have a few gripes about mine, especially. It looks a little bit lopsided, like this part of his mouth is going down a little bit more than it should. I think that is a defect, and also there is this little mark right here which I'm not too happy about. But other than that, I think he looks great. You can see around his face, looks really nice. Kind of looks like he's smiling, which is kind of weird, but it doesn't bother me too much. He's got a ton of detail on his head. Looks awesome. His back looks sick. Look at that. There's just so much detail on these figures. The paint is really nice. The gold is a really nice, like, metallic, shiny gold. The red is really shiny. And yeah, man, check it out. There are a lot of soft plastic parts. Like this part is a softer plastic. His wrist thing is a softer plastic. These shoulder things are soft rubber. The neck part right here is soft rubber. Basically, most of his body is this softer kind of plastic. But yeah, he's got tons of detail everywhere. It just looks great. And I have been posing this figure around a lot. It does seem to have like a small issue of scuffing. Look at his back, man. That looks so cool. His crotch is like a floating piece right here. It's like 2 floating pieces. There's one right here, and this part is a separate piece, which I guess helps with the articulation. But yeah, back to the scuffing. I noticed there is a lot of scuffing like right here, for example. Can you see that? I think this is from just it hitting this part of his leg, and it scuffs up a little bit. But the cool thing That's kind of cool. I mean, it does scuff up, which is bad, but the paint underneath the red is silver, so it kind of looks like actual, like Iron Man armor wear and tear, if that makes sense. I've also got a little scratch right there, but it's silver, so it does, I don't know, it kind of makes it look cool. But yeah, anyway, you can see his legs. He has a bunch of peg holes all over the place. That's where you can put in the different Iron Man pieces. He's got peg holes on his legs, on his arms, on his back right there, and also on a bunch of his hands. So you have a ton of different options. He also has them on his feet. So yeah, this figure looks awesome. Next, let's take a look at the articulation. Starting at the head, he looks straight up, like, so you can, so it's not hard to pose him in a flying position. He can look straight on, which is cool. Looks like he's smiling a little bit, which is not that cool, but yeah, it's alright. Next up, let's take a look at his arm. It goes up about that much. You could probably go higher. What I like about this shoulder piece is it's on like this long peg. It's like a double ball peg, and it's really long. Hard to see, but you can kind of see it right there. But yeah, that lets you move it around a lot, so it doesn't really hinder the articulation at all. The arm is on this Revo joint and also on this ball peg, so you got a ton of free motion there. You can swivel it all the way around like that. His arm is on this golden Revo joint, which lets you bend his arm pretty well. This wrist part is a floating piece, and his hand is connected to a Revo joint. One thing you gotta be careful of is this neck part, this neck piece. It's a floating piece, and you have to kind of make sure it's tucked into his armor, or else it looks weird. Sometimes you gotta push it down a little bit to make it look more natural. He's got this butterfly joint right here, which lets you push in his arms all the way, like that. It does kind of cover up his arc reactor, which is unfortunate, but he can, look at that, he can put in his shoulders like all the way, which looks weird, but it's awesome. If you look at it from the back, it doesn't really break up the sculpt too much. I mean, it does, but you wouldn't push it that far anyway. So yeah, they did really well with that. It doesn't like swivel around, it just goes forward and back. You gotta push down his neck thing again. That's one of the annoying things. His neck part, it just keeps on riding up, and you gotta keep on pushing it down. Just a small thing to complain about. He has a crunch that allows him to look all the way down with his neck. He can look all the way down and arches back quite a bit. There, you see a little bit of a gap there, but not so much. And when you crunch him down, there is no gap, except for maybe here, but you can cover that up with the floating piece. So it looks great. Let's go down to his legs. His legs kick out that much, and there's a cut right here, so it swivels around, and you can have his leg going completely doing the splits. So that's pretty good. He can kick out that far, kick back all the way. Go down to his knees. He can bend his knees about all the way, which is amazing. He also has this separate piece right here on his upper calf, I guess. So you can move that around. Move it from side to side. It helps with his standing. And let's go to his ankles. You can move him around like that. He's got another floating piece on his ankle, so you got to move that around. But he can move his foot quite a bit. And he has a toe hinge. So I think that about covers the articulation. There is a ton of articulation. There's just so much, and it's hard to cover it all, but basically you can get this guy into any pose you can think of. So with everything said and done, I would say this Iron Man is a great addition to the amazing Yamaguchi line. If you are a fan of this particular figure line, you will love this. If you are not a fan of it, I'm pretty sure you will still really like this figure because it's done very well. If you're not a fan of the face, then I guess there's not much you can do about that. But it is really great for what it is. So let's take some pictures, and thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed.